See me now, they don't have come and gone. And ooh, I love to sweep around the wide step, cut a little swat, then lead the people on.
If you don't like what is being said, change the conversation.
Now, public spaces and religious imagery. There's a precedent that exists. So one of the most overlooked examples that I don't hear anybody talking about, where there's plenty of religious imagery, is in our cemeteries, in our public spaces, in our cemeteries.
You're mad, bonkers, off your head.
While the symbols are paid for by the bereaved, the property is maintained with public funds.
Well, certainly that's a possibility, dude.
Now, every budget decision that we make up here, it's subjective. People get different value from the services that come from the city and receive them and appreciate them or don't appreciate them in different ways. Education accounts for 1/3 of the budget that we approve every year. Many residents benefit directly, but not all. Public safety, our next largest budget area, serves everyone, but the spending decisions are debated.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
I took some time, like Councilor Devine, to look into a couple things, like how public funds have been used for religious adjacent art and institutions in Massachusetts and in Quincy.
This is a very dumb thing to do.
You shouldn't do it.
At the Boston Public Library, John Singer Sargent's Triumph of Religion murals picked religious themes from Egyptian, Assyrian, Jewish, and Christian traditions.
I'm sorry, I just don't buy it.
There's a mural titled The Synagogue, which caused controversy upon unveiling, but remains part of the library's historical collection. Never a peep have I heard about a problem there.
Well, that settles that.
Massachusetts State House, religious symbolism in art and monuments.
So close in history, in religion, in government.
John Eliot Preaching to the Indians, a 1903 painting in Memorial Hall depicting Puritan missionary John Eliot evangelizing Native Americans.
Now you're just embarrassing yourself.
The statue of Mary Dyer, which honors a Quaker martyr executed in 1660 for defying Puritan laws.
Yes, but it's history.
It's our history.
Statue of Anne Hutchinson commemorating the Puritan dissenter exiled for her religious beliefs.
It's about our history. It's about our rights.
There's a sacred cod, which is in the House of Representatives chamber, which is a symbolic wooden codfish, revered in a way that blends cultural and quasi-religious significance.
It's a fish.
It's fish.
And then there are ceiling frescoes by Frank Hill Smith, which are allegorical artwork that include classical religious motifs.
This is a strange one. The inventory of murals for the Mass State House lists Frank Hill Smith as contributing the following fresco secco cartouches in the main staircase ceiling: Samuel Adams, James Otis, John Hancock, and Joseph Warren, all from 1894. I was unable to learn much about these pieces online. Here are the only images I could find.
These artworks are not seen as state endorsements of religion, but as historical reflections at the time in which they were created.
What historical reflection is cast by the statues commissioned for the public safety building?
You know, could this debate have been avoided if we had known sooner, or if somebody wanted to present this to us as opposed to going anonymously, lacking total courage and going to the Patriot Ledger? Probably.
They don't trust you guys. And why should they trust you? I mean, look.
What has the City Council done to earn the public's trust with information that could put their jobs at risk? It's ironic that Councilor Cain questions the whistleblower's courage when his own demeanor at this meeting contradicted his earlier statements about valuing public input and protecting the, quote, foundational principle of the separation of church and state.
You know, the way I understand it, someone slyly sent an anonymous note to the Patriot Ledger. So this was done undercover.
You know what happens to whistleblowers.
Now, in Quincy, we're no strangers to spending money
I think we can all agree on that, right?
for faith-based institutions and organizations. During COVID-19, the city spent $2.5 million supporting churches.
I did not know that.
In recent years, over $3.3 million has been spent in community preservation funds that have gone mostly to Protestant churches in Quincy, again, with zero controversy.
Well, we didn't know.
And hundreds of millions have gone into investing in our roads and infrastructure.
How about we stay on topic?
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
And then the discussion, took a turn to something about church and state, which I don't know where that necessarily comes from.
Flashback.
That said, I understand that their religious origins raise important questions about the role of such imagery in public spaces. The separation of church and state is a foundational principle of our government, ensuring that no religion is endorsed over another. Courts have allowed religious symbols in public spaces when they were a secular or historical function, but I recognize that reasonable people can disagree on whether these statues meet that standard.
Say, well, he's fairly intelligent. He's full of sugar.
I certainly didn't appreciate being surprised through the Patriot Ledger about something that was taking place that we had already decided on.
Perhaps you'll understand how our ears prick up every time your story changes.
Yes, this, was certainly within the mayor's purview of making a decision about an item where we approved appropriations for the budget. It's within the budget,
They ended up with a slush. That doesn't mean you can add a line item to the budget without talking to anybody. That's how I feel about it anyway. It's one thing to say, oh, now we can get the nicer drawer pulls, or the hinges can be gold instead of silver or brass, whatever. That's one thing, because we're expecting you to have hinges. But when you're going to put public art on a building, normally what you would do is you would convene an art commission, get people who know about art and talk to them, take in public and council input on what we want to see there. And but the mayor has made himself the art expert for Quincy. Like
the ACLU has sent the mayor a letter asking that the statues be canceled, and I'll just quote really quickly here from their letter. It conveys the message that Quincy is a Catholic community and that non-Catholics do not belong or are less valued. How do you feel about that?
I don't feel about that. I don't know who those people are. They don't know our community. It's not like they're involved in it. So I don't take any consideration into that letter. I don't know who those people are. I don't know, what gives them standing to write anything to us, really. So they're not members of our community.
Well, I don't hold ACLU in much regard.
Yes, I am a card-carrying member of the ACLU, but the more important question is, why aren't you? Now, this is an organization whose sole purpose is to defend the Bill of Rights, so it naturally begs the question, why would a mayor choose to reject upholding the Constitution?
It's in the Constitution. America!
Will there be more debate about this, or more discussion, or more meetings about this?
No. This is a done deal. The money was approved before. So if people have additional issues, please direct your comments to the mayor's office.
What would you say you do here?
So it follows that I cannot tell a lie. Ooh, I love to dance a little sidestep. Now they see me, now they don't. I've come and gone. And ooh, I love to sweep around the wide step, cut a little swath and leave the people alone.